Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer Jenkins. Thank you so much for stopping by. This video is going to be about how I have changed my eating habits recently. I've changed them pretty drastically. Anyway, I recently put out a Venus haul and try on video. And in that video, I was wearing a bikini and I was wearing some other form-fitting, clothes. And first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys are so just so complimentary. I don't know which one is grammatically correct. Whichever one's grammatically correct, that's the one that I meant to use. But you guys just leave the sweetest compliments, and obviously it makes me feel so good. So thank you so much. But I also got a lot of comments in the comment section just asking for like updated diet and exercise videos. And then I also received some comments just asking me if I'm doing things differently because I look a lot more lean. And the truth is I'm doing things a lot differently. And so that is what this video is going to be about. Just these little changes that I've made have really, leaned out my body. So anyway, let's just jump in and let me share with you what I'm doing differently. Okay, so before I get started, I did want to say that whenever I make one of these videos that are like diet related or food related, I get so much anxiety because for whatever reason, diet and food, the topic of diet or food is such a highly debatable topic. And people almost feel triggered when you talk about eating habits that don't coincide with their personal eating habits. You know what I mean? And people get emotional. And next thing you know, they're leaving me comments in my comment section that are just a little bit unkind. Or they'll say something like, what kind of credentials do you have to be sharing information like this? Or are you a dietitian? Or, you're giving misinformation or whatever the new term is right now that everybody just regurgitates. So anyway, all I'm saying is that this is just how I eat. This is what works for me. I'm not a dietitian. I don't have any credentials when it comes to, sharing diet, information with other people. This doesn't really fall. I don't even know if the way that I eat falls under any specific diet because I don't research diets. I just do what I feel like works for me. I'm not saying it's the most nutritious. I'm not saying it's the healthiest. I'm not suggesting that you do this. All I'm doing is sharing with you what I do and how I stay, looking the way that I do. So anyway, take that as you will, but please don't leave me comments in my comment section trying to debate my eating habits with me because I'm not going to participate. So anyway, okay, now let's jump in. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the list of changes that I've made, just the major bullet points, and then I'll tell you the whys and other stuff about them. But, sometimes I get comments just saying, can you hurry up and get to the point? And I get it because I know that sometimes I could just trail off in different directions. So anyway, the biggest and most drastic change that I've made that I think has made the most difference is that I have eliminated bready, starchy, and grainy carbs. So I'm no longer eating bread, pasta, rice, crackers, tortilla, corn, potatoes. I'm also not eating like pastries or cookies or cakes. That one was easy. I didn't have to eliminate that because that was just never part of my diet anyway. I've never had much of a sweet tooth. So that was kind of easy. So that is the most drastic change that I've made because I would say that before, eating this way, I would say at the least 50% of my diet was those types of carbohydrates. So that's the biggest change that I made. So the second thing that I've done is I've increased my healthy fats and my proteins. And the way that I've done that is I have been eating more nuts, more eggs, more cheese, and more avocados. And I would say that every day I start with nuts. My favorites are walnuts, pecans, and almonds. Those are the three that I usually start with every day. And I grab like a handful of each and put them in a little bowl. And it's usually the first thing that I put in my mouth after my coffee. It's usually around 11 or 11:30. And then, I might have some sort of a breakfasty lunch after that. So anyway, that's the second thing that I've done, increase my healthy fats and my proteins. Now the third thing, and this is not really something that I've changed, but I just wanted to mention because this is part of, my eating style, is that I still stick with lean meats. So I eat lean, beef, I'll eat chicken, I'll eat fish. I'm just starting to incorporate fish into my diet. I've never been much of a fish lover. I do like ahi tuna and I do like tilapia, because tilapia doesn't really taste like fish. So those are like the only two kind of fish items that I've thrown in there. So I still stick with lean. So this is not a high fat, low carb diet. Like I said, I don't even know the rules of some of these diets. So maybe it is, who knows? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if I keep going through this. And then one more thing that I've added to my diet are the protein and collagen shakes. I would say I probably have 3 or 4 a week. I don't have one every single day. It just kind of depends, you know, what I'm in the mood for. Like I said, I don't have a huge sweet tooth, so I'm not always craving something sweet, and they are really sweet because I made a video on it. It's a chocolate protein with peanut butter powder. So delicious. My daughter loves them also. It just tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's so delicious. It's so packed with collagen and protein. It's just so good for you. I make it with almond milk. And so that is another thing that I've added to this new diet. And then so the last change that I've made is that instead of eating, you know, all the breads and the pastas and the rice and tortillas and stuff like that, I've kind of replaced it with, you know, vegetables. And my favorite vegetables are definitely, cauliflower is my absolute favorite. And then also asparagus. So I love cauliflower, asparagus, broccoli, yellow squash. I love yellow squash. Edamame. And then I've also been experimenting with cabbage a lot. You guys saw that that dish that I made with ground beef and, you know, taco seasoning and cabbage and stuff. It's so delicious. And when I make one of those casseroles, I could literally eat it every single day for the week. I don't have a problem eating the same thing every day at all. I'm just like a creature of habit. And I still find it just as good as it was the first day that I ate it. I don't know. It's just, I love that dish. So I've just been experimenting a lot, you know, with new dishes and stuff, just trying to come up with alternatives for some of my old favorites, you know? And so that's what a lot of my new food videos are going to be about, because that's how I eat now. I also wanted to mention that I do still eat some fruit. So again, you know, I'm not just trying to eliminate all carbs, because I know that fruit has a lot of carbs. I still eat, and I don't eat fruit very often anyway, just like, you know, sweets and stuff. I just don't have much of a sweet tooth, but when I do, it's going to be like a Honeycrisp apple, and usually I'll eat like half of it and share, you know, give the other half to my daughter or my son or something like that. And then I'll have some grapes and watermelon. Watermelon's my absolute favorite. So if we have watermelon in the house, I will definitely eat the watermelon. So those are pretty much all of the changes that I've made. So I don't know what popular diet, you know, this way of eating falls into, because like I said, I just don't research diets. I just try out things that I feel like may work for me. And one of the biggest reasons that I made these changes is because my husband has been on the carnivore diet for he started out like keto and then went carnivore. He did something before that where it was just eliminating a lot of carbs. It's been like 3 years or so. And one of the reasons that he started was because he had some joint pains and he had some back pains that were just always there bothering him. And he heard and read that, you know, with proper diet, you can eliminate those things. And it's worked out perfectly for him. Like I said, he's been strictly on the carnivore diet, I would say, for maybe 2 years now. But before then, he's kind of been working up to this for a while. So one of the biggest reasons that I made these changes is, first of all, I want to live a very long life. You know, I want to live till I'm like 120 years old. I want to watch my children grow. I want to watch my grandchildren grow. You know, I just want to enjoy all the stages of life. And I feel like the best way to do that is to be very healthy. I've also had some lower left back pain for years and years. And then of course, you know, your typical joint pain as we age. And I wanted to eliminate that too. So I do have to say that the changes that I've made have definitely helped with the back pain. So much so that when I have like a cheat day, I'm reminded that I have that back pain. Like, I don't know what it is about eating stuff like tortillas or breads, or, you know, even, you know, because when I have a cheat day, I might eat like a donut or something. All of a sudden I feel the back pain again, you know, and I guess it's like inflammation or something. And so it has definitely helped with that. Do I enjoy this way eating better? No, I don't. I miss all those foods. But like I said, at this stage in my life, I want to be healthier. I want to eat foods that are nutrient dense and that are going to be good for my body so that I can live a longer, healthier life, because that is what it's all about, right? And I do have to admit that it has a little bit to do with, my appearance. Of course, most people get on a diet or change the way that they eat because of appearance reasons also. It's not just all about health. I did notice that whenever I was eating those types of carbs, I would be bloated. I would be, it's almost like it would bloat me immediately. Not just that, this is another thing. When I have my cheat days, the next morning I wake up, my eyelids are puffy, my face is puffy, I'm puffy like right in here. It just makes me go, golly, were those foods that bad for me? It's the way that I feel like I look so different when I eat fast food, which I almost never, ever, ever do. But on the rare occasion that I do that I'll eat like a hamburger and fries or something like that, like maybe once a year, I can feel it in my system. I can see it on my face the next day. It is just, I feel disgusting and I feel like I look disgusting. So I know that what we put in our body plays a big role in our, outward appearance. So for me, although I didn't want to lose weight, I did want to have a flatter tummy. I don't want to have, there's this term for it. I think people call it like menopause pooch or something like that. And then I was like, oh my God, and I'm not going through menopause yet, but I'm right there, close to it. And so I'm just like, is that what's happening? So anyway, I just wanted to try to change my diet to see if it kind of fixed things, and it definitely fixed. I'm definitely a lot more lean than I've ever been. I do want to put a little bit of weight back on because typically I've been 110 like my whole adult life since I was feeding myself until, I'm 48 years old now. And I just recently changed. I would say it's been over 6 months since I've been eating, more like this. And I've always weighed about 110. Now I weigh 107. I didn't intentionally try to lose weight. That was not my goal at all. I actually, like I said, I want to put a little bit of weight back on, which is why I think I'm going to reintroduce like beans back into this new way of eating for me, because that is definitely something that I really miss. And I feel like I could do so much with beans, and I would like to put a little bit of weight back on. I don't know if that's going to do it or not, but I'm gonna experiment with that. This is all one big experiment for me, So anyway, I think I really covered everything. I did want to say that I do not count my carbs. Like I don't tally them up at the end of the day. I'm not trying to stay under a certain number. I wouldn't even know what number to try to stay under. But I definitely do read labels. Like I'm reading things to see what the carb count is, and trying to figure out the net carb consumption, because that's what it's all about, is the net carbs. And the way to figure net carbs is just to take your total carbs and subtract your dietary fiber, because our bodies can't absorb dietary fiber. So if the net carbs, if the carbs are 10 and the dietary fiber is 4, then that product has 6 net carbs per serving. So I do look at that. And if I had to guess, I would say that I'm staying somewhere around 50 to 75 carbs a day. I would say somewhere in there. Some days I think it might be a little less. Some days it might be a little more. Like I said, I'm not trying to stay under any numbers. So anyway, that pretty much sums up everything that I've been doing in a nutshell. Yeah, that's really all I have for you today. I hope that, I don't know if this was helpful, I'm just sharing with you, what I've been doing. And, but I hope you enjoy this video. And I hope you're having a fantastic evening. So that's it. And hopefully I will see you back here next week.